Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we have a mailbag question and answer kind of session for you. As always, I appreciate all of your comments and feedback. It's always a good opportunity for me to think about things and learn and grow. And I got a comment here from Indigon Demon. I've got to push back a little bit on your comments about the 51 proof quarters, a proof cameo, and deep cameo designation make the coins almost act like three separate coins rather than the same. No one would argue that a 69 Brown Lincoln, I know it doesn't exist, just would, should cost me more than a 68 Red. Why would you do the same thing for proofs with and without exceptional cameo? So my comment had to do with the fact that it was interesting to me the way that, a cameo in a deep cameo, how that affects the value of a coin versus the 68 and 69, right? So I thought a 69 cameo should be worth more than a 68 ultra cameo, but the ultra cameo designation gives it more value. And so this is actually a very niche area of the market where you talk about, where I talk about, do the registry sets, what role do they play in the valuation of coins? And some of these things, I think you can have a little bit of nuance to how you view them. But I think that the registry sets definitely play a role in people's opinion about what coins have more value than others. And so in his example here of a 69 Brown versus a 68 Red, you have to look at a very specific coin and understand it, because this is all theoretical. When you're talking about coins that are going to be an earlier large cent, for example, of course you want a coin that is going to be more red than less red. Generally speaking, it's just an area of collecting that's very niche and very tough to get. But when you get into coins that aren't as hard to get, the brown coin may be the more attractive coin if you have a coin that's really well toned. If you think about copper coins as red being the original color, like a silver coin having white be the original color, you'll see toned silver coins that are common sell for a whole lot more toned sometimes than not. And you can see the same thing happen with copper coins, where you'll see a coin that is not red but is brown because they don't have any other color designation, but the brown labeled coin is actually a coin that's going to be purple or blue or green and just beautiful. People will pay more for eye appeal no matter what. As far as a coin having an actual grade designation, to me a 69 is you would think is going to be more expensive than a 68. But once again, we get into that nuance of the difference in between having how hard is it to get the cameo versus the ultra cameo. And in general, it's true though, the more cameo a coin gets, the more eye appeal it will have, right? So at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is, when you look at it, a matter of overall eye appeal. My main point was that I just thought a 69 is going to be worth more than a 68. With or without those designations. But it's a very niche market. Like, it's a very specific market to those people who collect them, right? And so when you're novice coming from the outside, you would think that a 69 would be worth more than a 68, no matter what the other designations are. But that's what part of the fun about coin collecting is. There's so many little nuances and niches to it that you can really enjoy trying to specialize in something that is very, very difficult to locate. All right, George says, first give me 10 coin dealers and you'll get 11 different results in their opinion on what a grade is, which, we all get a little cynical, right, George? Thanks so much for that. Talking about the new CAC holders, second, I agree with Ben that this is a market disruption, but I think the important word here is market, in that ultimately it is the market that will determine what happens. As a small-time dealer, my concern is that buying pricing coins is difficult enough as it is, and this will make it worse, at least for a while. So for me, there's the market disruption. Also, like Ben, I am more interested in the coins than the plastic. I view the holding of coins as primarily a way to at least somewhat ensure liquidity. I too think I understand the appeal of the registry competition, but it makes no sense to me that score-wise an ugly 66 coin will beat out a beautiful 65. But that's the way it is, at least as I understand it. So a couple different things. I want to start at the back end of this comment, which gets to the previous comment, talking again about registry sets. So the hard thing about a registry set is you really are chasing plastic. You're chasing the numbers, and you can get a coin that's a 66, like his example here, and the coin might not be as attractive as a 65 that I might have, right? I might have a 65 that's more attractive when you get them next to each other. But the registry sets don't care about eye appeal. The registry sets are numeric, and they are for filling holes, checking boxes, if you will. And so that's something that happens. That's a little bit of the downside of the registry set. Now, I get the fact that that's a very, once again, a niche market. Most people who watch this video probably don't actually have a registry set or do a registry set. If you don't know what a registry set is, by the way, that is PCGS and NGC. You can go ahead and keep track of your coins there, and they give you point totals depending on what you have. So as though it's a competition, and you can see where you rank numerically against other collectors. It is, I think, just for the top pop people, right? It's for the people who really want to compete, and a part of their competitive nature draws them towards this. So it is a small area when we talk about it, when we talk about registry sets, because most of us don't participate in them, but I digress. Going back to the CAC portion and market disruption, it will disrupt parts of the market. It's a new thing. The way that it took CAC originally with the green bean and the yellow bean or gold bean, whatever color it is, the way it took them a decade almost to really influence the market, this may take some time also to really influence the market. We don't know exactly how it'll be. But his main point about it being a market is one of the points that I like to reiterate here, is that there's not really a conspiracy theory on pricing on most things in the coin market. It really is generally a market. People over time have decided, hey, we want the CAC sticker. We trust John Albanese and his company, and so we're going to move that way. One of the things I was surprised about is when I did a poll about if you had your 20 most expensive coins and you getting them certified today, where would you go? Now, over 600 people responded to that poll. That's a pretty good amount of people. Now, it's not scientific, but still 60% said PCGS, right? And so, and then the NGC and the CAC portion was actually relatively comparable to each other. The CAC portion was like 13% and NGC like 21%. I was kind of intrigued by those results because based on just the echo chamber in my head, I would have thought that the CAC people would have won out, right? Because it seems to me the demand is strong. But that's, once again, you're talking about niches within niches. The coin market's its own thing, but then people who really are chasing CAC coins, perhaps that's a more specific market where you only have a handful of people who are saying, oh yeah, I'm going to put them in a CAC holder right away. And we don't know if the old PCGS and NGC holders are going to go ahead with those stickers on them are going to be worth more over time. Because, I mean, really people do chase plastic. At the end of the day, you can do both, right? Let's be specific here. It's not binary. It's not one or the other. You can chase really nice coins. You can chase metal and plastic at the same time. You can match those things up. You can try to find really nice coins and really nice holders. That's a thing. So let me be clear that I'm not saying that just because you're buying certified coins, you're only chasing the number. That's not what I'm saying. But that's what a lot of people get into. And that's been, one of my kind of complaints, or one of my educational points for people is like, okay, yes, there are graded coins, but yes, we should also look at, trying to find coins that have a nice eye appeal for the coin and train your eye to that. And it's cool that there's the CAC effect, but also, why don't you become your own CAC? In other words, learn to find coins that are really a nice eye appeal. All right, next up, we've got Mr. Nedza Dickerson. These names are really long sometimes, and the print is like really small. So I'm a bullion stacker, and from time to time, I do get a silver coin that may have numismatic value should I get into graded coins. So on modern coins that are bullion related, that are like stacker type coins, I generally tell people only buy them certified if you are buying them for very small premiums. You don't want to take a coin that you can buy a nice raw example for $40 and then spend $100 on a slabbed one. If the raw coin is $40 and the slabbed one's 50 or 55, there's not really harm in that per se. And maybe over time that one will hold up and always have a little bit of a premium. Where you get into trouble is when you start buying coins at huge premiums because of the labels. Because I don't know over time if those are going to hold up or not. Once again, I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know where the market will be in 20 years, right? And that's kind of the question here is, where's the market going to be in 20 years? But when you look at getting from stacking into quasi-numismatic into holders, my advice generally is just don't go crazy with it. It's okay to buy something more collectible, but don't go crazy with it. Can we get a Coin Geek actual personal collection video, please? Chai Charon, yes. So if you follow the channel, so you click on the subscribe button, and then there's a little notification bell, like a little yellow bell you click on. Supposedly, if you have your phone set up right, it'll actually tell you when new videos come out. The reason I'm telling you this is because you will find that I have a lot of videos out here on the YouTube, and you will find also that some of them are items that I own. And so those videos do exist, and I continue to make more of them. Lots of times it'll be little esoteric things, but if you subscribe and get notified, you'll see the videos as they come out and won't miss any new videos. That way you'll get to see some videos about things that I own personally and collect. All right, my question would be, can you start a grading scale without the Sheldon scale, just change it to 1 to 100? Oh man, I should have made my own video on this, because this is I can wax poetic on this for a long time. He's at Johnny M's asking about getting a 1 to 100 scale that's easy to understand. I would actually dumb the scale down. I wouldn't go 1 to 100. I'd probably go 1 to 10, or using half points and stuff like that. I probably wouldn't go 1 to 100. That to me is just too many extra points, right? And so I know that the weird 0 to 70 thing, it kind of is what it is. So I'll get into that. Maybe I'll do another video on that sometime. It's a good topic. Okay, groomer. I think he's calling me a boomer, really. Being serious, you kind of said about the third-party gradings, people's by reputation and marketing, and allows companies to slip and ride on reputation alone. Overall, I think slabs are bad for the hobby as structured. The rigid scoring doesn't work with opinions like that. Ancient NGC system would be better. Once again, some grading commentary there. I always like the ancient grading, NGC grading holders. I prefer the fact that there's more information about the coin on there. This is one of the things that I would argue that US coins would benefit from. Just more information is better. For the collector, I know the guys that are in the registry sets, and I know the guys who are in the point systems don't like the idea, because then it gets more complicated. But once again, as we discussed earlier, registry sets affect very few people. The information for the collector is the important part. I think it's the most important part. So also, as far as marketing and whatnot, yeah, I think some of the companies are marketed better than others. They have an image that's different. PCGS and NGC have different images. One's a lot more laid back. One's a lot more like, we're upscale, we're important, and that's their images, in my opinion. And I think that holds true even when you go to shows and you see how they present themselves. But some of that reputation is changed over time. It's not like it was only slick advertising, but that's kind of grown into it. And I'll be really intrigued to see where CAC grading fits into all of this, because after thinking about it a while and speaking with John Albanese about it, I really have a different feel and sense for what the company is and how they operate. Because I think that John and I are very much so kindred spirits. When I just hear him talk about the hobby, his ability to go ahead and comment on small town local collectors, as well as guys that are doing six-figure coins, it's seamless, and to me it's impressive. Maybe you guys didn't pick up on that in the interview with him, but to me that's something that I picked up on, because I'm in all kinds of worlds when it comes to collecting, and I deal with very beginner collectors to very advanced collectors, and I really felt like CAC has its own little niche. And going back to that poll that I quoted from our community page, where you have only 13 or 14%, whatever the number was, that would say we'd use CAC, that kind of reinforced my own biases about the niches, the specialty and the special collectors who are looking just for CAC coins. And we'll see where it all leads over time. I don't know if CAC will ever, they're actually not looking to become the biggest grading company, which I find interesting. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. Leave your comments down below. Anytime you have questions, go ahead, leave them down. We'll try to pick up on some when we feel like we can get to it. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.